Hi everyone, it's Peggy Merwin with Stamp with Peggy. Sorry for being late. New phone 2 weeks ago, so I haven't done a live since, and it didn't want to cooperate with me trying to get the right direction. So, I see Annie's asking, am I going live tonight? Can't find me. Keep looking. I'm here. I'm just running late. I'm gonna drop this down a little bit. There, Marianne's on. Wonderful. All right, give me a minute to pull it up here so that I can be watching who's on. Okay, a few of you have found me anyways, right? There we go. Okay, let's adjust this. Hi, Becky. Thanks for joining. Okay, and hi, Margie. Excuse me. Hi, Annette. Okay, looks like you guys are finding me. So, hopefully everyone had a fabulous weekend. It was Father's Day weekend, and my hubby Tony's birthday was yesterday. So we had a very busy weekend. Judith, I'm so sorry that you had a hard time. I was running late. It wasn't you. New phone and technology issues. So I apologize for that. So hopefully you guys are all getting on. So yeah, I went up to see my mom and dad Thursday night, Friday, and came home Saturday morning. So I got to see my dad for Father's Day a day or two early. And then I got home and we bought a new vehicle. I traded in my Explorer and I got a Ford Bronco. So learning all the new things about a new car and on how things have changed since I got the Explorer. And then we went and saw my daughter and second grandson's Silks performance. I've had a lot of people ask lately, what is Silks? It's like a circus show, I guess is the easiest way to say it. Kind of like climbing a rope, only it's silk fabric. And they climb up it and they do tricks, wrapping it around and twisting. If you're a fan of Pink, she does some aerial silks. So my daughter teaches, and her and both of her boys do it, but only one of them was in the show Saturday. And then yesterday we went back up by my daughter and met my daughter and my son and his family, and we all went out to celebrate Father's Day and my husband's birthday. So it was a busy weekend, and now here we are back to Monday. And it is Monday, June 17th. I missed you last week, but we had a fabulous time up north fishing and camping with my father-in-law. So that was good. I just didn't stop to think long enough about how long the trip is. It's a 5-hour trip home. So there was no way I was going to be able to make it in time last week. So I decided to just kind of play catch up on everything else, get the camper unpacked and all that fun stuff. Hi, Helen. I think I just saw Susie on. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Let's see. Don't forget to like, share, comment. I do 2 drawings every week. The first one, it's in color time. So it is the adhesive resin dots. And the lucky winner of this is Becky White. So Becky, I will double check to make sure. I'm pretty sure I have your address, and I will get these popped out in the mail to you this week. And the second lucky winner for the in color shimmer dots is Donna Malin. So Donna, I will get these popped in the mail to you. So again, to be able to participate in the drawing, you need to share, like, comment, tag people, because we want everybody to join us on Monday nights. Okay, bundle sale is going on through the end of this month. So all of the stamp set and die bundles that are in the annual catalog are an additional 10% off. So it's a great time to get some of those. There are a couple that it looks like they're not going to be back in stock during the sale, which is why we always say order something you want right away, because we don't know how long it's going to last. They will not go on back order. So if it pops up that it's not available, that means it's out of stock right now and we're waiting for it to come back. but there are tons of things. It's awesome to be able to have the original 10% and now an additional 10% off from a bundle. Yay. Okay, we are going to make, I've had a few requests for a project that we did at the end of May in my coffee, cocoa, and cards class. It's called a loaded envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down and we're going to get started on that. Okay, give me a minute. New phone, so I'm trying to, come on, flip the camera around. There we go. Okay, let's get this down. Okay, coming back up. Close your eyes as we're shaking. Here we go. Okay, and there's our current host code. Okay, let's get this straightened out. Thank you, Miss Wendy. Okay, this is the project that we made at Coffee, Cocoa, and Cards. It's called a loaded envelope. It's a piece of designer paper that you do some folds to, and then you put things in it. I saw this originally by a demonstrator, Robin Armbrecht, I think is her name. It's one of the things I've been going to make for a long time, and I thought this paper was perfect. In this class, everybody got a package of the Frames and Flowers designer paper, which comes with tons of embellishments, and I shared it on my blog. About 2 weeks ago, I think I started. It was over 2 or 3 nights or 2 or 3 posts that I did it. But this has, and it pulls up, oops. Okay, there's a notebook in here. There is a bookmark in here. And then, of course, it has a pen that pops into the little pocket. And then up here, we had 3 cards that we made, all using all the fun stuff from this Frames and Flowers, sorry. Okay, so we are going to make this tonight, but I changed designer papers, and then that meant also that I had to pull in a stamp set. Okay, so we are using the Country Lace designer paper. And then we are using the Country Flowers and the stamp set and the coordinating Country Flowers dies. Okay. And I'm just trying to make sure that it's showing everything. Hi, Miss Tammy. Okay. So we're using that. And then these greetings are great, but it's not what I wanted on the cards that I was doing tonight. So I'm pulling in the Simply Said stamp set, which is an amazing set. Okay, don't forget, this is a bundle. Get an additional 10% off. Okay, then I also used, let's get those out of the way, the Countryside Corners dies and the Stylish Shapes dies. You guys know this one's my all-time favorite, right? Okay, I did do the stamping and stuff on the cards already because I was afraid it was going to take too long, and I don't want to keep everybody all night long. Okay, so we are starting with a piece of the Country Lace designer paper. It's a 12 by 12. Okay, we're scoring it at 3 1/4 from both sides, and then we're turning it and we're scoring it at 3 3/4. Okay, 3 1/4 from both sides and 3 3/4 from the bottom. Okay, next thing is you need to decide which side of the paper you want to be the outside of your loaded envelope. I'm going to do the Petal Pink on the inside and the Misty Moonlight on the outside. Okay, so I folded it on the score line, and then you're going to use your bone folder to make sure that it's nice and crisp. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. And we're going to make sure that it is nice and crisp. As you can see, it overlaps about 1 inch. Okay. Then we are going to fold on the 3 3/4. And I would recommend folding it first and really scoring it really well. And then do it and score it again, or use your bone folder and burnish it again. Really, really good. Okay. All right. Now we're going to use tear and tape. This is a double-sided, super strong adhesive. Okay. So we are going to run it along. Whoops. Nope. Said that wrong. Not yet. Okay. Before we do that, we're going to fold these sides in. Then we're going to take this top corner and we're going to bring it down to the folded edge. Like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Okay. We're bringing the corner, top corner, down over to the folded edge. And then we're just going to fold that. That one you don't have to worry so much about using your bone folder on. Okay. Now, and it doesn't matter which one overlaps. It can be either one. Now we're going to pull our tear and tape in. Okay. And we're just going to put it along here. And then we're also going to put it on this side. And again, we're just putting it right close to the edge. Hi, Tammy. Okay. And we did it on both sides to make sure that it's nice and strong. Because they're overlapping, we're going to have a double row. Okay, so then we're just going to peel that backing off. This is so super simple. And then from there, you just decorate it however you want. Okay, so now we're just closing it up. And I forgot again. Okay, so you can see down in there. I wanted it a little firmer, and I keep forgetting. So I cut a piece of petal pink to go down in there. I meant to put that on before I closed it up, but we're going to put it down in there. And I'm going to go cut a 1/2 inch off because I don't want it to show through that V. Okay. And then I will give you the measurements. Okay, our piece for the inside is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. You can use any kind of adhesive. I recommend the Tombow glue, green glue is what I call it, because it'll slide in easier if you've already sealed it shut. If you didn't seal it shut and you remember to do it right away, you can use any kind of adhesive. But I want this to, and so I'm sticking it down in, trying to keep it from attaching to the back so that I don't have glue all over this part. Okay. And that, I apologize for that seeming a little confusing because I didn't put it together right away like I should have. Carol Schaefer, thank you so much for joining and for sharing. Okay, so you can see it kind of poked down in there. That's just going to help firm this up a little bit. All right, we're going to close these down with dimensionals. We're just going to put 1 dimensional in each corner so that it kind of sticks up a little bit, but it won't keep popping up on us. Okay, like that. Now we're going to deal with this part down here. Oh, and you know what? I should have. Oh my goodness. I should have put tear and tape all the way down, not just to the crease line. So we're going to slip some more tear and tape in there. I'm sorry about that. And we'll be able to get away with just the 1 strip this time. Okay. So run your tear and tape all the way down the whole piece. Okay, now we're going to fold this up. We are going to put tear and tape on the sides. Let's get our edge. We're going to go from the score line, and I know you can't see it. I can see it here, or I can feel it. Okay, from the score line to the open-ended. So that we can seal this like that. Okay, but I'm also going to recommend that we also put just a little bit of glue for a little more long term. Once you start filling it, the tear and tape sometimes tries to pull apart. So push it down, and now I'm getting glue everywhere. I have these little clips that I have had for years. They were from an old Stampin' Up! Project years ago. Okay, so we're going to take and we're just going to pinch that on there. Some clothespins would work. We just want it to hold for a couple minutes or a couple seconds while we work on some of the other things to go inside of this. Okay. All right. That's all there is to making the loaded envelope. Now we're going to go ahead and make some fancy things. Okay, so remember on my original, we did this bookmark. Okay, so I started with a piece of petal pink, and I scored it in half. So it started out at 7 1/4 inches, and I scored it at 3 5/8, and then I folded it. So the fold edge is up here, and I ran it through the cut and emboss machine with the country corners, the 1, 2, the third from the smallest. Okay, and I put it so that it just came short, and I think you can see that, so that it didn't cut the fold line. Then we're going to take that off, and there is our bookmark. Okay, so now we have to make it fancy. Okay, I used basic white, and I cut the next smaller size, and I stamped the hello in smoky slate, and I stamped the flowers from the country flowers on there. But we all know Peggy likes layers, right? And that's kind of a big space for me. So I cut a piece of smoky slate, and we're going to adhere so that it's just about 1/8 of an inch bigger. And I just measured this and just cut it 1/8 of an inch bigger. We are going to adhere the stamped image piece onto the smoky slate. And then we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to snip all 4 corners. I colored it with boho blue and petal pink and soft seafoam Stampin' Blends. Okay. Because this is a bookmark, I don't want dimension to this, and I don't want to add any embellishments to this because it's going to go inside your book. Okay. The little magnets I order on Amazon, and they come with a whole bunch of them. They're super thin and really strong. This is 2 of them. Okay, you need 1 for the front and 1 for the back. I really recommend the green glue. Okay, so you are going to adhere it to one side or the other. Doesn't matter which one you do first. I still have the 2 magnets together. Okay, and so we're going to attach it there. And then we can go ahead and put glue right on there and close it up. Okay. Look at how cute that is. Okay, we're just going to set that to the side so that it can dry. And then we are going to make a little notebook cover. Okay, and this time I didn't have any more of the same size notebooks, so I'm using a 3x3 sticky note. Okay, And I'm using a piece of Misty Moonlight that is 3 1/8 by about 6 5/8. Okay, I've scored it at 3 1/8 and 3 1/2. Then I also took a piece of smoky slate that's 3 inches by 6 inches, scored it at 3 inches. And we are going to adhere our sticky note pad to the smoky slate. And it'll make sense in a little bit. Okay, so it's folded. We are going to put the folded edge at the top where the sticky notes are adhered. Okay, so it's like that. Then we have our notes. Okay, now we're going to adhere this inside our Misty Moonlight. And again, you can use any kind of adhesive for this. You just want to make sure that it's a stronger, permanent adhesive. Green glue, tear and tape, Stamp and Seal Plus. Okay, and we're lining it up, the top of it, right at that top score line. So now we have a cover for our notepad. Okay, the Country Lace designer paper has this really fun little eyelet pattern to some of the papers. So I used that embossing folder with smoky slate on a 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 inch piece. And we're going to adhere that to the front. Those of you who are at Coffee, Cocoa, and Cards, yeah, this is a little different than what we did. Okay, look at how cute that is just by itself. All right, then I did a basic white stylish shape circle. And then I pulled out my dies that coordinate with the stamp set. Okay, there's this little pot, 2-handled. So I die cut that from smoky slate. And then I stamped from the stamp set the flower market on it. We're going to put that on here. I die cut one of the leaves from the die with soft seafoam. Okay, that's going to kind of go like that. And then, there we go. The die set has little flower dies. Okay, like this. There's a big one and a little one. There are 2 of those dies. There's this one that die cuts kind of a circle-ish. There's an open here, but the rest of these 5 are attached. So kind of a little wreath. And then there's one that will cut out 3, a big and 2 small. And then there's lots of leaves. This is the leaf that I used. Okay. All right. So then it's going to be like this. Wendy, I am so glad that you enjoyed that when we did that project. Whoops. Okay, I want the small one, and I lost one. It's stuck on my finger. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and attach this, and I want this kind of like that. And then we're going to pull some dimensionals in, because we can use dimensionals on this. Okay, let's put it dimensional like that so it holds that. And then let's cut one of these to kind of go in there to hide. Okay, that will work. So let's go ahead and add one more dimensional here. All right, Linda. I got to have another one, right? Because otherwise it's going to be wobbly on the bottom, and we don't want that. I know I use a lot of dimensionals. I like dimensionals. Okay, so we're in there like that. Then let's grab one more, whoops, to put up here to hold that part up. Come on. Okay, We're going to put that on our circle. Look at how cute that is. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and add, and I think maybe I will use one of the big ones. And I think we're just going to put a spot of glue on that. We don't want to cover our words up, but I would like to cover up that little hole. Okay, and then where else do we want? Oh, there we go. How about right there? So we're going to put a little glue in the center of that one, and we're going to add that one up here. Okay, I think that'll work. We have a couple of spares. Okay, oops. All right, then we're going to attach our circle onto the front with, of course, dimensionals. Isn't the color combo pretty? I do like it too. Okay, so there is our little decorated notepad, and we're going to come back and embellish this stuff in a little bit. Okay, then we're going to make 3 cards to go inside. Okay, so the first one is a card base that is smoky slate, and it is 5.5 by 8.5. It is scored at 2 1/4 and 4 1/4. Okay, then I have petal pink that is 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to go here on the inside, and then a basic white to go over the top of it that is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so we're going to adhere that onto there, and then that will go right there. Okay, our card's going to close, and it's going to give us a sneak peek of the white over here. But before we do that, this is one of the Country Lace designer papers. Okay, so I used it in the smoky slate. We're going to adhere it onto petal pink. These pieces, the petal pink is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and the designer paper is 1 5/8 by 5 inches. Okay, then that's going to go on here. And then one goes on each one of these panels. Okay, so we've got one there. And then when you open the card up, you get a sneak peek of the designer paper on the inside also. Okay, so there's like when your card is fully opened. Okay, now we're back to the countryside corners dies again. And let's get that pulled out here. I used the second to the largest for smoky slate. And then I used the next size down for petal pink. But again, that's too big of a border for me. So we are again going to adhere it onto a piece of basic white this time to give us just a small little border. And then we're going to trim the corners. So that's pretty easy to do. You don't have to get real concerned about it being exactly the same size. Just eyeball it. Get those pieces out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and adhere it onto this one. And I want to check. Not that it has to be the same as the first one, but yeah. Okay, we're going to put this one on with dimensionals. Okay, we're going to take all the backings off from those. Oh, I missed one. Okay, then we're adhering this onto here. And then we're going to adhere this onto here. And again, we're only putting adhesive on half of it because we don't want to seal our card right up. Okay. And that doesn't look straight. Okay. And as you notice, I stamped Thinking of You with Memento up there. That's pretty good. Okay. Then I used the stamp set and I cut one of these, I stamped one of these vases or pails in basic white, or on basic white with Memento, and then I colored it with Smoky Slate Stampin' Blends, and the same with the flower. I stamped it on basic white with Memento and then colored it with Boho Blue, Petal Pink, and Soft Sea Foam. Okay, so we are just going to adhere all of that together, and we're again going to use dimensionals. So we're going to connect them there. And then let's just use up these chunks. Okay. Remove our backings. Okay. And when I get all done, we will talk about how you can get a kit to be able to make this in these with this designer paper. Okay, so there's our first card, and then we need to look at, I don't think I want grays. I think I'm going to use the iridescent faceted gems, and I'm going to do some coloring with the Stampin' Blends. Okay. So let's get a couple of them in Petal Pink, and it's going to be a very subtle color because it's light. Thanks, Wendy. Oops, I want the other end. The brush end works a little better for coloring these. Okay, let's get one bigger one in each color, so we have something to play with and decide what we want. I don't think I want the Petal Pink. I think I want, we'll grab the little ones first. And let's just put one there. And then let's go ahead and add onto our, there, look at how pretty. Okay, so then we have our envelope to go with the first card. And then our next card. Okay, here's another one of the designer papers. Okay, so we're just going to adhere. Again, I started out with a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 basic white, and a 3 3/4 by 5 of the designer paper. So you can get 6 cards out of one sheet of designer paper. And we're going to adhere that to the front. Okay, we're getting there. Oops, let's make sure we have the top of our card. And as you can see, I have a basic white inside, so let's go ahead and adhere that. You get a long one tonight since I wasn't here last week, right? Okay. All right, then I used the largest stylish shape in Misty Moonlight, and we're gonna go ahead and adhere this right down flat. Don't worry, I will be using dimensionals. Okay. I used the hexagon label punch, I think is what it's called. Okay, and I used Misty Moonlight ink, and I stamped Birthday Wishes from the Simply Said stamp set. Okay, so that's going to go on here with dimensionals. And I'm just going to lay it there for right now, because then we're going to take, I cut out some more of these little guys. So we're going to go ahead and stick those down flat. We're going to put a little bit of Tombow. Thanks, Carol. I'm glad you like it. Okay. So then we're just kind of going to tuck that under there. And then we have another one. Oop, can you see? I got a reusing one that I stamped on and didn't like how that looked. Okay, and then we're going to tuck this one down here. And now we can go ahead. Hi, Peg Franks. Thank you for joining. Okay, so then let's go ahead and attach this. Okay, and then I have some of the little flowers again. I die cut some of those. Oops, and I think I'm missing one. All right, Annette, what was that? I'm thinking of all the folks I want to give a set like this, right? I mean, it's just an amazing little project. I had so much fun with it. And then it's fun to change out the papers. Hi, Sherry. As you can see, this is kind of a completely different look than what the first one was. And then I think we're going to stick just one down here at the bottom. Yeah, I think that's going to be too much. Okay, now let's pull in. We can use these petal pink ones that we colored. And again, they're not very dark. They kind of blend in pretty good. And I think, oh, you know what? Let's do it right there in the center of those. Let's color one more little one. And that can go right there. There. That's adorable. In fact, I think we're just going to take that one right back off. Okay. So there's card number 2 and our envelope. And then our third card. Okay. So we're using a petal pink base this time. And we have a basic white for the inside. Our whites are, again, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And I cut 2 of them. One goes on the inside, so you can write your message. The other one goes on the front. We're almost done. Okay, and then I used another piece of the designer paper that is 3 3/4 by 5. See, that's a fun color right there too. Okay, so then that's going to go on there. The white just makes it pop a little bit more. You could do it just flat, but I like the layers. Okay, so then the stamp set has a stool. So we're going to do that. And I colored it with gray granite. And then there's a little teapot that I colored with light boho blue. And then I stamped the flowers again and colored those in with the petal pink, the boho blue, and the soft seafoam. I used my Stylish Shapes to cut the little banner, and I stamped hello with smoky slate. We're going to cut the end of it off, and I kind of should have done that before, but of course we want dimensionals on it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach this like that, and then I can go ahead and cut it. And you can just use your paper trimmers or your scissors, snips. Okay, let's come in from this way. And I'm just going even with the basic white. That's why it would have been easier if I had done that before I attached it. And I still have a little bit of a rounded edge there. There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and attach all of this. And this will be our final card. And then we can put all of it together. Okay, we're going to put our stool at the bottom. And then we're going to put a line of snail at the bottom of the teacup or teapot and a dimensional at the top so that it sits flat and then it pops up there. And then we're going to, again, we're going to run just a little bit of snail at the very bottom, but then we're going to get our dimensionals in here so that our flowers pop up. Hi, Sonia. Thanks for watching. Okay. And so then we're going to go ahead and put those up there. Then, let's see. I think we want some blue ones. And we're going to go with, oops, the bigger ones. Maybe one small one. And we're going to come right down here in the corner. And we're going to put a big one and a small one and a big one. Okay? So there is our third card and our envelope. And then we're going to pull our loaded envelope back in. We're going to take the pieces off the sides. And our cards will go right in. Let's see, those are both sideways, so let's go this one. Our cards are going to slide right down in here. Our notepad, now again, that's why we folded that, because we can slip that right in between there. We can put our bookmark right in here beside it. And then we can add our pen to go with it right in the pocket between them. Okay, look at how cute that is. And by doing the glue, it needs to sit just a little longer, but so there is our project. Okay, so if you would like a kit to make this project, all of the things, I will not have any stamping done. I will do as much of the die cutting as I can, but obviously the cards, these images, will not be stamped or die cut. I can die cut the flowers, but I can't do any of these, okay? So you will need the stamp set and the die set to do this, but you'll get all the designer paper, everything else, all scored and ready. It's free with a $50 order, or the kit by itself without an order with the PDF is $25, okay? You will get some of the gems. You won't get a full package, but you will get enough to be able to complete your project. And let's go ahead and add a couple to this because we forgot that before. And we're going to put right in the center there and there, and we're going to move this one. How about right there? Okay. All right. So if you're interested, let me know. The host code is this. If you place a $50 order, I will pop this kit in the mail to you. Otherwise, if you just want the kit and you don't want to place an order, it is $25 for the kit. And I will get that cut and prepped for you and get that popped in the mail to you also. So you guys have a fabulous week. I will see you next Monday, June 24th. Everybody, take care. Bye-bye.